Hello, everyone, and welcome to Fairfield County SCORE's latest live webinar series for aspiring entrepreneurs. I'm Kathy Walsh, a business mentor here at Fairfield County SCORE, and I'll be your host. Our sponsor for today's event is Fairfield County Community Foundation. FCCF is a nonprofit organization based in Norwalk, whose mission it is to close the opportunity gap by eliminating disparities in income, education, employment, housing, and health. Fairfield County SCORE is proud to partner with FCCF, and we thank them for their support of this webinar series. This series was designed to support women and minority-owned small businesses. This is the fourth of 7 webinars being done over the next few Wednesdays, each starting at noon. Today's webinar is entitled Networking for Women and Minorities. Our speaker will be Diane Winston. More on Diane in just a moment. First, let me share some brief information about SCORE. SCORE is funded by a grant from the Small Business Administration, so all of our services are completely free of charge. There are about 300 SCORE offices in the US with over 10,000 volunteers. Fairfield County SCORE is one of the largest and highest rated chapters in the nation, with over 100 volunteers comprising a wide range of expertise. We offer 3 value-added services to small businesses, which are all accessible from our website at fairfieldcountyscore.org. First, we provide free one-on-one counseling services through face-to-face meetings, telephone calls, email, and video conferencing. Second, we produce over 100 educational workshops and webinars each year on topics of relevance and importance to small businesses. And third, we have extensive resources and tools on our website, including templates to help you build your business plan. So this is a special webinar event because there's an opportunity for participants to earn a grant at the conclusion of the series. We will be giving away $2,000 grants up to 10 contestants. Judging for the grant awards will be based on a presentation of your business plan. Constructing a business plan can be very difficult, so we created a simple Q&A template called a business case analysis to help you figure out what to write. Forms and entrance criteria will be sent to all that register. If you need these sent again, let us know. Remember, you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. SCORE mentors are available to help you complete these documents, and I encourage you to take advantage of the opportunity to collaborate with them. Ultimately, what the judges will be looking for is a synopsis of what I call your story. Tell us, in the fewest words possible, what is so great about you, your product, your service, and your business. Essentially, this will be an executive summary of the business case analysis and the financial projections, and will serve as the basis for your presentation. You'll have a limit of 1 page to tell your story, so make it good. Think of this as being your elevator pitch. The files for the business case and financial projections will be emailed to you, and we'll talk more about the contest as we get closer to the end of the webinar series. So let's get started with today's event. If you have a question during the webinar, please use the chat box located in the lower part of your screen. And to respect your time, we will end promptly at 1. And this session is being recorded. And the link to the recording will be available at the fairfieldcounty.score.org within the next couple of days. Now to our speaker. Diane Winston is a change management and communication strategist with 30+ years of corporate and consulting experience. In 2005, she established her consulting firm, Winston Strategic Partners, LLC, to support change initiatives impacting organizations, people, and cultures. Diane is a member of the U.S. and New York Women's Chamber of Commerce, Women in Public Policy, and Collaboration of Professional Women of Color, and the Black Business Alliance. She has a BA from NYU and an MBA from Chicago. So without further ado, take it away, Diane. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much, Kathy, for that introduction. Let me just make sure my camera is in a position that, okay, I think is good for everyone. There we go. I, as you know, am a small business owner, but I'm also a SCORE mentor. And so I have the unique privilege and position to not only share what all mentors will share with you about being in business, but as a minority and woman who is also a business owner, I've got a little bit of information and an experience with why networking is very, very essential to us getting ahead as business owners. This is the plan for today. This is what I want to cover in the next 45 minutes. And let me put my timer on so that I can stay good with time. We're going to discuss why networking is essential to your business. We're going to talk about the different types of networking and certifications that are available at the national, state, and local level. We're going to talk about third-party certifications. We're going to talk about the benefits. I'm going to share as much as I can with you about why each one of those has benefits. How to get certified. I'll share with you on third-party as well as state and national where you can get, how you can get certification. And then once you get certified, you want to make that work for you. So there are different organizations that I will share with you that will be geared towards you being an ethnic minority, or you being in a certain socioeconomic class, which is also geared to support us as women and minorities. So let's get started. So why network? The one thing that I hate to do is to sell. I do not like selling. And at the same time, there may be some of you who are shy and going into rooms or going to conferences or meetings where you don't know anyone may be very, very nerve-wracking for you. On the other hand, someone like me, I like to go and work the room. I like to find out who's in the room, how many people there are. Some of you may be like that as well. But net, if you're going to have a business, if you're going to want to grow that business, networking is one of the key ways in which to do it. And this is why. Not only will you make business connections and new relationships with other small business owners through networking, but in some instances, you may meet with potential clients. Now, having the challenge to earn the $2,000 with SCORE, doing that business plan challenge is perfect for you because it's going to help you understand not only your business, but a little bit more about the why you're selling, the who you're selling to, what the benefits are of what you're selling, product or service. Now, when you walk in a room, you're going to be well versed on your business. So I suggest that you do it. Whether or not you win the $2,000, I think it's essential as you're launching your business or you're trying to refine your business that you can at least talk with knowledge, firsthand knowledge about your business. And that is essential when you're networking. You don't want to walk in a room and say, oh, hi, what do you do? Or can I do work for you? This is what I do. People want to know who you are as a person first. So you want to go in, you introduce yourself, you introduce your title and your company. You'd say in your little short elevator pitch, but then you try to learn about the folks that you're talking to, because they could be your potential clients. They could be colleagues that you can collaborate with. There's all kinds of things, even the primes, and primes are prime suppliers. They're the big guys that have the multi-million-dollar contracts with maybe your target clients. And you want to meet them. You meet them through networking. You know what your business does. You know what the benefits or the value that you bring to your clients, but you also want to be able to distinguish what it is about you. Now, as a minority and as a woman, our time is now. And if you're both like me, your time is really like now, because not only at the federal level are they making a commitment to spend X percentage of their dollars, their spend dollars on minorities and women, but they're doing it at the corporate level. They're doing it within government. They're doing it within corporations. Everyone, and as it turns out, they're also doing it at different state levels. This is our time. In this country, they are trying to make it more available, make it equitable, and to include us as minority and women. So it's important that you get out, that you network. Now, networking also gives us the ability to have our name recognized, whether our name is Diane Winston or the name is Winston Strategic Partners. And of course, we know to have that business card, right? And now they've got these electronic business cards. Get set up on something like that. I was at an event last week before last, and there I am handing out my business cards to the folks that are at my table. And one young lady said, "Oh no, we don't need to do that anymore. We have hello something," and you all might know what I'm talking about, but there is a service where you can have your business card electronic, your QR card, it makes a QR code for you. When you go to networking meetings, you can simply do that, or do like I do and hand out a business card. You want your name to be recognized. That's what networking allows you to do. The more you show up, the more people will recognize you. You will see potential clients, you will see colleagues, you will see people within the industry that you're working, and they will begin to say hello to you by name. That's what you want. Networking also allows you to be on top of industry trends, and we'll talk a little bit about that later. But I find I get referrals all the time. Now, I've been in business for 17 years. I find that people know me because I'm in the room. When you're networking, you are in the room. You can be certified, you can have all kinds of memberships to industry organizations or trade organizations. But if you do not show up, if you're not in the room, then you're just on paper. You're a member on paper. You're certified on paper. But your certification doesn't work because you're certified. Your certification, one, gets you in the room, and two, allows you an increased reach. And by that, I received a phone call from a client, and they're now a client. I'm networking, I see them. I went to a lunch and learn, there was 25 people there, spent time, after the meeting, giving them my card, getting a follow-up meeting with them, had that follow-up meeting on the phone, sent a holiday card, sent an email maybe 6 months later, went to another event, saw that person, made sure I went to their table to say hello. Saw them at a national conference, made sure I went to say hello. Now, when I saw them the next time, they're saying, "I know I owe you a call. I owe you a call." And I said, don't worry. I'll be the one to follow up with you. Don't worry. Well, one day I get a phone call from this person, and she said, "Do you do executive coaching?" Now, I personally am not a certified coach, but because of my contacts, my network with other WBEs and MBEs, I have mutual subcontracting relationships already in place. I was able to say, yes, we do offer executive coaching. None of this could have happened had I not been out networking. So understand that networking is going to take time, but you've got to put in the time if you want to be able to reap the benefits of it. So, but where do you get started? I'm making certain assumptions because I can't talk to you and hear from you. But if you are not a registered business entity in the state, wherever you are, you need to register as a business entity. With the state of Connecticut, you register with the Secretary of State. You can do that registration online. You secure your federal employer identification number with the IRS online. These two pieces of information, or these two registrations, make you a legitimate business owner. Now, you'll learn with a mentor, a SCORE mentor, or maybe even in this session, the different options you have as a business entity. But once you have you've been registered as a business entity, my firm is an LLC, limited liability company, registered in the state of Connecticut, located in Norwalk, Connecticut. And my FEIN I secured through the federal government online. Both of those registrations, well, there is a registration fee for the Secretary of State with Connecticut, but the FEIN is not. Once you have those, now you want to spend time identifying industry, functional, and trade organizations. So for example, you may be in manufacturing, and it may be consumer goods. You could have a food truck. You could be in some level of human resources. I happen to be in consulting, and I'm a consultant, but I also am a communication strategist. So when I started out, it was important for me to find out what organizations there were going to be people just like me. So there's the International Association of Business Communicators. There's the Association of Change Management Professionals. For HR, there's SHRM, Society of HR Managers, I think it is. Find out what industry, functional, or trade organizations will represent what you do, but also your clients will be going there. So it's not just everybody like you, there'll also be clients that will come there. You'll meet competitors, you'll meet collaboration opportunities, but you can also meet specific or clients who have an interest in the service or products that you're selling. Now, having said that, it's not enough just to go to these things. You want to attend business networking and matchmaking events. Matchmaking is like speed dating. But you see, the only way you get invited to matchmaking events is if you're a member or a certified organization, a certified business. We have matchmaking at the federal level, at the state level, at nonprofits have matchmaking. There are business organizations that will offer matchmaking, corporations. Matchmaking simply means that if there is a potential client, a corporation or government looking for the services that you offer, and you register for matchmaking, you can either select what industry or what potential corporation you would like to meet with and hope they also have a need for what you're selling. Or in many cases, they will simply pick you. So it can go either way, but you have to do some research. You want to research which corporations or which potential clients will be at that matchmaking event. Do your research online about them, find out everything that you can, then make your selection within the time frame that you're given, because they don't just leave the window open. We are all scrambling as small business owners to have that 15, 20-minute meeting. And it is a 10, 15, or 20-minute, get in there, tell them what you need them to know. But you don't go to matchmaking meetings and say, I'm looking for work. You don't go and say, do you want what I'm selling? Because you wouldn't be in the matchmaking if they didn't have an interest. But you do go prepared with your capability statement, which I hope all of you either have or will be working on. You have your capability statement, which is most times it's required for the registration for the matchmaking, so that these potential clients have had the opportunity to review your capability statement and ask you questions. But don't stop there. Do research. If you get an email confirming that you have X number of matchmaking meetings scheduled with the following potential clients, do the research on those clients. It will help you make the most out of your 10, 15, 20-minute matchmaking session. One other thing that I'd like to suggest, and I do this just as a normal practice whenever there's matchmaking, because some of the matchmaking systems, and you're not doing Zoom, they have matchmaking technology similar to Zoom, but as soon as it's your time to be on, so you don't want to be late, you want to get in a little early, as soon as your 3 o'clock starts, the time clock starts ticking. The first thing that I do when my meeting person signs on is hello, how are you? It's good to meet you. Thank you for meeting with me. May I have your email address? If you're going to network, if you're going to have a matchmaking meeting, it's important that you can also follow up with them, because when your time is up, when it's 3:15, the system is going to knock you out. It's going to cut you off, so that the next person who comes in at 3:20 will be able to get in without having to wait in a waiting room. So those are my tips with matchmaking. And matchmaking, it only comes about when you are networking, when you get in the room. Okay. Now we're going to talk about certifications in a few moments, and you got to determine which ones are right for you. All right. And the other thing in getting started is, of course, if you do not already have a SCORE mentor, I'm going to recommend that you get one. Now, let's talk about certifications. We have the U.S. Small Business Administration, or the SBA, is the at the federal level a certifying body. And then at the state level, and I'm going to only address for the state of Connecticut because that's where I am and that's what I know, you can get a certification as a minority and woman-owned business from the Department of Administrative Services. As well, you can get a disadvantaged business enterprise certification from the Department of Transportation. Now, you don't need to be disadvantaged, but what that means is based on certain economic criteria. For example, is your personal self-worth $11 million? And this doesn't include your house and your car. But if you have a net worth of $11 million, this has nothing to do with your business, it has to do with you, okay? Then you're disadvantaged. I mean, if you don't have, then you're a disadvantaged business enterprise. And this is important because these designations, these certifications, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the federal, being an MBE, being a DBE, being a WBE, all of these things are important because of the opportunity for us to have access to contracts, RFPs and contracts that are set aside for minorities and women. And then we have, these are the two certifications, third-party certification agencies or organizations that corporations are looking for. The first two, federal and state, is if you're looking for government work, okay? If you're looking for work on the commercial side or the corporate side, they're gonna ask you, you're the client, the corporation is gonna ask you, are you certified as an MBE? The certification that is acceptable to them is you beginning from the National Minority Supplier Development Council. And there are a number of affiliated regional partner organizations or affiliated organizations across the country. For Connecticut, we are a part of the Greater New England Minority Supplier Development Council, which includes all the way up to Maine, Vermont and Maine, Boston, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, and Connecticut. Okay, so all of the corporations within those regions are members, not all, but corporate members are members that that reside, have corporate offices within those this region, the New England region. We have the same thing for New York, New Jersey. We have the same thing for the South. So they're all over the country, these regionals. So wherever you are, you want to get certified as an MBE. If you're a WBE, you want to be certified by the Women's Business Educational National Council, WBEC. And it's the same thing. They've got regional hubs or RPOs, regional partner organizations, that just brings it from a national level down to a regional level. So I am certified, or my company is certified with the Metro New York, WBEC Metro New York RPO for WBEC, okay? I've got certifications, federal, state, and third party. I'm a third party MBE and WBE. These are the umbrella certifications that I want you to consider. And here's some of the eligibility for the MBE. MBE and WBE, very, very similar in that, one, you've got to be 51% owned and operated by a minority, ethnic minority. And if you can see here, bullet 2 shares with you who is considered an ethnic minority, okay? You're at least 25% Asian Indian, Asian Pacific, Black, Hispanic, Native American. Minority eligibility is established by a combination of documents and reviews. Now, let me just say to you that having NMSDC and WBEC certifications, it's not hard, but it's also not easy. And what their job is to make sure that there's no pass-throughs. Pass-throughs are when you have a man who really is running the business, but he puts his wife at the head of the business and says she's the CEO. Well, in the screening process, and it's the same thing having someone that is not a minority, who really, it's their company, but they put a minority in the head of the company. It's just as a figurehead. But between the NMSDC and WBEC, you see that 51% owned and controlled is there again. They make sure through documentation, through your financial statements, through interviews and site visits, that you are in fact either a minority or a woman-owned small business. The vetting process is very vigorous for both of these organizations, which is why corporations say, are you MBE or WBE certified by one of these organizations? So if you're going to start out here, get those certifications. The ones for the state, and I'll go back for a moment. The two for the state, there's no cost for the federal and the state, the government. There is a fee that you pay for your certification as a WBE or an MBE. And every year those certifications must be renewed for a nominal fee, but it does cost. For the SBA and for the state certifications, there is no cost for those, but there are requirements that you continue to validate that you are still within that certification class, minority, women-owned business, and then there are other certifications, okay? So here are federal certifications. If you are a Native American-owned small business, this is the link where you want to go, okay? For the SBA, you're either a WOSB or an EDWOSB. I can be both because I'm an EDWOSB, economically disadvantaged woman-owned small business. And you have to be certified. You have to go through a lot of the same processes, except at the SBA level, they do not do site visits. but they do, because it's the federal government, they do require certain documents to validate that you are who you say you are. Okay. Veteran-owned business. I put this up here. This isn't minority or woman, but sometimes you could be a minority and a woman and a veteran. And so I did not want to exclude this as a consideration for you in terms of certifications. There's something called hub zone. Now, I believe the city of Norwalk is a hub zone city. And what it means, it's historically, it's an underutilized business zone. And what I would have to do to qualify as a hub zone is to hire folks from Norwalk in my business in order to be considered a hub zone certified company. But because I'm a solopreneur and most of my work is either I deliver it or some of my collaborative partners, and being in business for 17 years, I have a whole bunch of folks within the services that we offer who I can rely on, and they don't live in Norwalk. Okay, let me tell you about the 8A business. The 8A certification. The federal government, through the Small Business Administration, recognizes that large companies, large organizations have not only the capacity to support the government, but the divide between small, teeny weeny micro businesses like mine, it becomes greater and greater and greater over time. So they like they like the federal government, like state, local governments, as well as corporations, are making a commitment to set aside a certain amount of the contracts specifically for small businesses. Now, the 8A business is not just for minorities, it's not just for women, it is for any organization, whatever your background, that satisfies their criteria for being a socioeconomic disadvantaged business. This is the federal government's way of trying to ensure that the playing field includes us. So I am 8A certified. It took about 6 months for the certification to come through. And mind you, I waited. Now, I started in 2005. I waited 11 years before I even went for my 8A certification. One reason is I didn't know about it in the beginning. About 5 years before I actually went out for my certification, my SBA, my regional SBA, my local Connecticut SBA, Lisa Powell, she suggested it. And then she helped me to do it. Now, 8A certification, the program is usually a 9-year business development program. I absolutely was so sure that once I got my 8A, that I was going to have a flood of government contracts coming my way. Not true. I have been fortunate enough to land some federal contracts, but not the ones that are multiple year, optional multiple year. And I'll talk to you about that in a moment. But this program was 9 years. And the development is that they make training available to you. They invite you to their events. All of the government agencies, federal agencies, have events for minorities and women. They have events for small businesses. As a certified 8A company, we get all of those invitations. We get invitations to do matchmaking, and it's overwhelming. But you have to have someone in your corner. And so that someone would be your state and regional SBA folks to help you navigate, because the federal government is huge. Think of one agency. Think of the IRS and all of the things that come out under the IRS. Think of the Department of Homeland Security. Think of the Department of Defense. All of the things that come under the Department of Defense, all of the agencies and sub-agencies, and then all of their needs. If everything that is sold in this country, our government needs. They need paper clips, they need food service, they need vehicles, they need computers, they need consultants, they need everything. And there's a lot of people out there. So President Biden just made a commitment. I forgot the percentage. I really want to say it's 30% spend. Federal spend has to now be with minority and women. That's great. I know New York State is at 30%. There is something called a discretionary spend. I forgot, that's not exactly the right name. But as a certified New York State minority woman-owned business, the state of New York has committed 30% of their contracts have to go to minority and or women business owners. So that means that there's a lot of research I have to do because I'm certified with the state of New York and Connecticut and Massachusetts and Rhode Island and the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey. I get notices all day, every day on the weekends of opportunities with my NAICS codes. Your NAICS codes, your North American Industry something code, okay? You need to know what your NAICS code is when you register at the federal level, as well as all the other registrations. They're gonna wanna know, what is your NAICS code? So based on my NAICS code, I get notifications of requests for proposals, RFPs, that come in from all of the federal agencies, from state, from regional, from local, from corporations, people who are looking for what we sell. So with the 8A program, you're going to get bombarded with a lot of information from federal agencies, opportunities for you to network. A lot of them are all virtual now, but you find one or two people who you can build relationship with, and that is going to make all the difference in the world. I went to the Wbe National Conference one year, my first. I had a matchmaking session with someone from the Federal Reserve Board system. I stayed in touch with her. She has invited me to their vendor outreach in Washington before COVID. And they also participate with the Women Impacting Public Policy, which I'm a member of. And they then were going to be offering matchmaking sessions. I called her and I said, I'm looking at some of the forecasts of the contracts that you're going to have next year. And I would love if you guys would choose me for a matchmaking. Not only did I get selected by them for a matchmaking, but the exact two people, the buyers, were on that matchmaking. And don't you know, lo and behold, they sent me a proposal some months later. Now, didn't win it, but I'm now in their head. And that is all you want. You've got to learn to work it. And the working it comes from networking. You network, you make your contact, you follow up, you ask for introductions, you get a place in the room, you get invited, then you go, then you follow up, and then you do it again the next time and the next time. And what this means, your certification, being a minority or woman-owned business, what it means is that you would not have to, well, you otherwise would not have the audience with your potential clients that you need, because it's everybody. So I can go to an everybody conference, but this is a smaller level. If they have a minority or woman-owned conference or a vendor outreach, then they're just looking for women who are certified, women-owned business certification. They're only looking for minority business certified companies. So what happens is you get invited based on those certifications, because there is a commitment for us to grow our business through these government agencies. Now, at the state level, I think I mentioned this already, Connecticut Department of Administrative Services, and then to get your MWBE. But you also can get your DBE through this Department of Transportation. Now, with the Department of Transportation, while it is a state agency, it is a sub-agency of the Federal Department of Transportation. So in many instances, while I am a DBE certified, my firm is DBE certified in the state of Connecticut, I was able to go to the Port Authority of New York, New Jersey, and get a certification based on the fact that I'm certified by the state. And I know colleagues who have taken their DBE certification and they have leveraged it. They have reciprocal certification agreements in other states with the state of Connecticut. And it was fairly easy for them. And based on what they do, they may be in transportation. This one woman is in clean environmental cleaning products. And so she is certified in Massachusetts, Connecticut, Washington, I think Florida, as a DBE. She just, wherever there's opportunity, she leverages her DBE with the state-run agency of the Department of Transportation. I hope you're getting a sense of the reach, because I said that once before. One of the reasons for networking is to expand and extend your reach. So yeah, we have to be in the room. We have to make the time, make the commitment, and make it a commitment that is documented. Document who you met. If you go to a conference, have a way, write either on the back of their business card what you discussed so that you can send a follow-up. And you don't need to send it to everybody. You need to send it to those who've expressed an interest in knowing more about your business, or who have said, yeah, we don't have anything like that. We need a change management communication. There's a project going on. I don't know too much about it. Well, see, I don't need them to know any more about it. I'm on it. I am sending them an email, and I'm going to ask them to put me in touch with the people who are leading that change, and I will take it from there. But I've got now a foot in the door, and I wouldn't have had a foot in the door had I not gone to that networking meeting. Okay. Now, local and national organizations that benefit us as minorities and women. Some of these I've already shared with you. United States Hispanic Chamber, the National Black Chamber of Commerce, the Women's Business Development Council here in Connecticut, the Collaboration of Minority Women Professionals. They're up in the New Haven area, but I'm a member and I'm in Norwalk. The Black Business Alliance is up in the New Haven, Hartford area. I'm a member. The Fly Female Founders, they do work out of New York, but I know that the founder is here in Connecticut. The Asian Pacific Islander American Chamber. This is a large national organization. WIP, I mentioned that, and I'm a member of Women Impacting Public Policy because I'm interested in gaining contracts with the federal government. I'm interested in gaining contracts with the federal government because I'm an 8A certified company. And as an 8A certified company, the federal government wants me to have opportunities with government agencies, okay, to grow my business with government agencies. Now, why government is important to me, why I got my 8A certification, because government contracts tend to be 1 or 2 years solid and optional years. So you could actually get a contract, and I had one with the Rhode Island National Guard for 1 year with an optional 1 year. And they ended up extending it an additional 6 months. So I got a contract which was for 2.5 years. but I only had to do one bid for it. You see? So these things are important, and I want to just share them so that you see the opportunities for you to grow. Then there's the Connecticut Women's Council, which is up in Hartford. I'm a member of that as well. And that's just women professionals, from corporate to small business owners. It's about networking. Okay. I'm coming close to, I've got another few moments, but what I'd like to do is to just remind you of the following. You don't have to do it all. You don't have to have all these certifications at once. Don't try to join all the organizations at once. First, get yourself registered, get your FEIN, understand, get your business plan at least mapped out, and that doesn't have to be complete just because you started today. You're going to have holes, but your business plan is a living document. But once you know your industry codes, once you know what it is that you're offering and who you want to sell to, and the kinds of colleagues you want to surround yourself with, then start thinking about some of the certifications that work for you. Okay, certifications and organizations that work for you. Take time to get it right. Don't run into doing everything for every, like if you're going to join an organization, join the organization. Sometimes being on a committee works, but a committee takes a lot of time, and it's important for you to make the time for your own business. Exchange information. Let me say this. I don't believe information has value unless you share it. So what that means is that one of my colleagues called me and asked if I had someone in my firm who was certified to give 360 feedback. And the 360 is an assessment that they do in corporate America a lot, where you have senior people give feedback on you, your peers, as well as subordinates, people under you. So it's a 360 look. But I'm not a certified coach, but I have enough relationships with people who are certified, some of whom are subcontractors of mine, that I went back to that colleague who collaborates with me on other things, and I made that introduction. Now, I'm not involved with it, but I put the two of them together. You see what I mean when I say you extend your reach by networking? So I put two of my colleague friends, my business partner friends together. Hopefully they will make some money together, and both of them will remember me for that. And when things come up that are change management, leadership development, or diversity, equity, inclusion, they will think of Winston Strategic Partners. So it's important that as you become successful, and I know you will, that you reach back and you bring someone with you. And with that, I want to say thank you. And I want to turn it over back to Kathy
Okay,
for questions.
terrific. Diane, thank you. Thank you so much. I have a question. There's one quick question here that I'm going to address right away from Susie, then I'm going to turn it over to you. We are going to be posting this entire presentation on our website. So hang in there a few more days and you'll have everything available for you on our fairfieldcountyscore.org website. Diane, my question for you is, I was very surprised to hear you say that a disadvantaged person could have a net worth of up to $11 million. Did I hear that right?
Yeah, I think it might be, don't quote me, don't take it for Bible, the number. I think the 11 million is that you're for with the federal government, but it might be like 7 million. Yeah.
So everybody,
it might be 7, but you as an individual
I
cannot have net worth of that.
okay. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Okay, so Diane, do you want to take the questions yourself, or do you want me to read them out to you?
You can read them out to me.
Okay, let's see. You got a lot of thank yous, and I did see one early on. Oh, this one. Okay. Ariana is asking if you already have, I guess it's an FEIN, but it was for a business unrelated to the new business. Do you recommend getting a new number?
I'm going to leave that to someone else. Let me tell you what my initial thoughts are. You could always have doing business as under that FEIN. And so your new business could just be under your old business using the same FEIN. I personally think for bookkeeping, unless you've folded the other one, and if you've folded the other one, then do that through the state. Make sure that you do that through the state so it is no longer a business of record. Then go get a new FEIN. But if you're running both, and I know someone who was doing that, she started as one thing, then she ended up with a design firm, and she just does it as doing business as. So it's her company, and then she has doing business as. So it's like an umbrella company is what she started with. That's the FEIN, the original. And then when she adds new businesses, it will be doing business as.
Okay, thank you for that. Tim Ryan is asking, has technology or COVID had a big impact on your networking, and how have you adjusted?
Yes, yes, and yes. Everybody has gone indoors. Everything is online. The networking, I mean, the matchmaking meetings, the conferences that I go to, almost every last one of them have been virtual. I went to one conference 2 Fridays ago because I was a presenter, and it's the first time I've been out of the office in public with other people. And I wore my mask except when I had my lunch and when I was speaking.
Okay.
But all of them, most of them, Wbe is having their national this week in Atlanta, and it's in person. Wow. And so some organizations are stepping out back to it, but most of them are still offering either hybrid, where they do both at the same time, or they are just doing virtual.
Okay, thank you. Chanel is asking, which government certificate has yielded the best business results for you?
I think the question really is, which one have I truly leveraged? Okay. And by that, I mean been in the room, because just having the certifications doesn't work. And the one that I'm going to say really has worked for me is probably at the state level, New York State, all of them. Because I've had business from corporates as a result of being MWBE certified with the state of Connecticut. I've gained business in New York City and New York State because of those certifications. And at the federal level, I've gotten business because I'm 8A certified. Okay. And also DBE certified.
So I want to follow up on that myself. So you have certifications as being the entree into more business, but would you also network locally with your chamber or your BNI groups?
Not really.
Okay. And
I did, but they're not my target clients.
Okay, but it could be for somebody here.
Absolutely, and
especially
I would suggest,
if you're say in the trades, if you're a building trade, local business.
And that's, so the question is, who do you want to sell to?
Right.
And that should dictate which organizations did you participate in. Okay,
great. Let me scroll down a minute. Thank you. You got a lot of thank yous, and you're wonderful. And Vanessa James would like to have a meeting with you. How do people get in touch with you?
If you give, if you put your contact information in the chat. Kathy, can you save the chat?
I believe so.
Okay, and then Kathy will get that to me.
Okay.
And then we can set up a call.
James. Okay, Vanessa, you'll do that for us, please, okay? Okay, Sharon is asking, how can I network effectively virtually?
Go online to some of the organizations that I spoke about. I know Wbe does not require you to be certified in order to participate in any of their events anymore. So, and Wbe does things virtually. So the Wbe New York Metro, which I'm a member of, or I'm certified through, or that's my regional partner organization, they have Zoom meetings. You're invited. And do the same with every organization. Find out what they're doing online. And if it suits you, get in touch with one of the leaders of that organization, chat them up, and then join. And when they do, like Wbe, start the in-person again, you're all set.
Okay. Okay, Sandra, the FEIN is the federal employee ID, and yes, you do get it from the IRS. So not to worry, you can find it online. Gloria is a notary loan signing agent. Hang on. Do I apply for an LLC or a DBA, or does it matter?
Well, an LLC is the type of business entity that you are. A DBE is a certification designation with the Department of Transportation. They're two separate things. One, you want to be a certified business entity in your state. So you could be an S Corp, you can be a corporation, you can be an LLC, you can be something else. You'll have to ask another mentor, score a mentor for that, or go online and look at the Secretary of State website, and they will tell you the different types of business entity you can be registered as. It really makes a difference with the how you file your federal income tax bookkeeping.
Right.
Okay?
Right. All right. As a new small business, we have limited resources. If we can only afford to join one or two associations, of those, which should I join? How do you make a determination which is going to be to your best advantage?
Well, if you're a woman and you're talking about certification, that's where you're paying money for certification, I'd say Wbe. If you're a minority, I would say the NMSDC. Now, those are certifications. However, I'm in communications and I'm also change management. So I put my money and membership with the two organizations where my colleagues are and my clients also go. International Association of Business Communicators and the Association of Change Management Professionals. It's cost of doing business. You cannot get around it. But remember, you don't have to do it all.
Okay.
So if you just get your certification through one of the third-party agencies and stop there, you go to their events, you're going to meet people within your industry there.
All right. I'm very quickly going through this. You have so many people, everybody wants you to be in touch with them, Diane. Okay. Okay, I see everybody's emails. We have them. All right. More thank yous. Oh my. Wow. Okay. We have an awful lot of thank yous and a lot of emails, Diane. So I don't see any other questions coming in. I'll look again, but in the meantime, I'm just going to say.
Do you know how to
Diane,
save the chat, Kathy?
Pardon?
Do you know how to save the chat?
I'm hoping Tim does because.
I do.
Okay, then it's yours.
If you click on chat.
Yeah.
And you see the little space there that says host and panelists, type message. See the little happy face and the 3 dots?
Hey, no, I don't see anything here.
Go to chat.
I got it.
And see the little 3 dots
No.
next to that little happy face where you could, it says 2.
Oh, down below. Okay,
Yes.
got it. Okay. Yeah, got it. So what do you want me to do?
Well, usually it's save. Wait a minute, hold on. Because this is different. Let me just see if this is where you save. Okay, hit the little page. Hit the little page and save it somewhere.
Okay.
The question is, will there be a transcript? And I think this was recorded, wasn't it?
Well, it was recorded and it will be up on our website.
Monica, did you hear that?
Okay. Well, I'm trying to save it. It's not happening real well.
I'll save it.
Okay, that'll be great, Diane.
Yeah, don't hang up yet. Don't hang up yet,
No,
because
I'm
I gotta
not.
get it.
I need to wrap it up because Jim,
I know, but you can't hang up because I'm trying to save it. And if you hang up, I won't be
I'm
able.
not hanging up. I'm going to
Okay.
finish up.
I want to thank everyone for your time today. Thank you so much for your support, Kathy.
My pleasure, Diane.
So this is score chat. Okay, I got it. Oh, wait. Open.
So Diane, as you do that, may I just
Yes,
give these
yes,
folks some more information?
yes.
All right. Boom, boom, boom.
Oh,
Okay.
I've got to share the next screen.
Okay. All right. As I mentioned before, we do have this contest going for women and minorities. We are going to follow up this webinar. We'll be emailing you the case analysis and instructions on how to participate. If you need help, please again contact us. We have 100 volunteers who can help you fill out a business plan, and we're happy to do that with you. So we also offer individual free meetings. So use the link on our screen or visit the website and click request a mentor. Everything will be at fairfieldcountyscore.org if you need other information. We're also going to be sending you an evaluation of today's webinar, and we'd appreciate it if you would fill it out and return it. So Diane, are you all set?
I'm done.
Okay.
Best wishes, everybody. Go get it. Go get it.
So on behalf of SCORE, I'd like to thank you, Diane, and all of you for attending today's live webinar. And thank you so much, and to our sponsor, Fairfield County Community Foundation. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks again.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.